now comes back to why we use business entities. In my party table, let's say I have two different types of data. One is person, the other is organization. Okay, then I can go ahead and create from one base object, I can create n number of business entity with different name, and I can use filter, which we just saw over here, to distinguish between all the business entities which we are taking up. Now, why we use that? Because that might be one of the need that your process for processing the person data and organization might be different. Your required attributes might be different. Your creation of your registry IDs inside MDM might be different. So they will utilize different approaches. Hence, we go ahead and utilize business entity in different parts. Okay. How we go ahead and do that? It's exactly same process. And now in this one, you'll see even my lookup tables as well as my main base object tables. Both are there, right? So I'll just go ahead and create for hierarchy table, or I can go ahead and create it for party table as well. I'll say party. Okay. Now I'll create fields for the party table. You'll see all the fields are there. Gender is also there, but I won't create gender over here. I'll just go with, let's say, first name for 1 second. This label will be utilized when we'll say the output. So either you create labels over here. If you are utilizing business entity view, you can create either over here or in business entity view. Because if you have created over here and not in business entity view, this will overwrite that and you'll see first name like this. Your gender will be created over here in the lookup fields. Now you will see objects and everything, but when I'll go ahead and create from object, I will only see one single thing. Now lookup display field. You have seen this thing in data manager, right? In the hub console, the same thing works over here. What do you want to showcase over there? One to many, I can go ahead and create. So if I'll go ahead and create, I will only see what is linked to my main table, nothing else. Once I go ahead and select, it will select that. Now, what is delete strategy or identifying strategy? If I want to use delete strategy, that means, do I want to delete soft delete or delete parent, or only delete the relationship? So if I use delete parent, then if I'll go ahead and delete the address, it will also go ahead and delete my main party as well. For soft delete, it will go ahead and use -1. Disassociate means it will just go ahead and remove the relationship between the records. Okay. Identifying strategy, it's a one row, no rows, unique fields. If there is anything, if I choose one row, then accept. If there is no rows, then you can go ahead and create one row. Otherwise, it won't allow. And if it is only one row, then you want to go ahead and push error. So one row is accept, no rows is to create. So that means till one row, it is at least one row is one thing. If you'll see, that is what it says. Okay. Label formatting. Do you want to have some kind of formatting for the label that is being shown over here? So we'll just say address. So now you can say that over here I'm not seeing any fields or anything which I see in reference entities. You just click over here and again click on this. It will pop up for you. So you'll go ahead. If I'll go ahead and create the lookup fields over here, you can see that object I am seeing country as well as party. Party is coming from over here. Country is coming from the reference entity. Now, if I want to create a state as well, but I don't have the state, but I'll just use depends on. I can see the country which was being created is being coming up. Object is not coming. Why? Because there is no extra field which I created for state and linked it to state. Hence, over here, I'm not able to select that. But if we go ahead, create a state attribute and have a relationship with state lookup, we'll see the object coming as LKP state, which we created in reference entities. Okay. So lookups are majorly for reference attributes. Fields are for generic text fields. It can be number, it can be anything, but it is mostly utilized for now. There are few other fields which came with this one, which is default. So if the person is going ahead and putting a null, what you want to go ahead and put the value for which particular role you want to go ahead and utilize it for. Okay, all these will be coming in roles. I have no idea who created this. I created this one, and this is something which was being created for from other users. So we'll see how we can go ahead and do the privileges and all in later, but this is what it will showcase us. And according to role, let's say for manager, I want to utilize what value. If I want to have another set of person to have a different value, I can go ahead and set for another role value. So this is what you can go ahead and do with default values. Okay. So we'll be creating all the fields. The lookup fields are being clear. if you want a default value to be associated to a particular attribute, the attribute cannot be null. There should be a default value. And according to the role you want to push certain default values, if the person is not updating that particular value, then the default should be something. And you can go ahead and use in that particular scenario. Okay. So in that way, we go ahead and create all the fields and everything. So you can see that 90% of your configurations will be exactly same. 90%. So let's say we'll go ahead and we'll make the first name as searchable. And we'll say this searchable should be a text general and there should be a suggested as well. Just apply that. So when I go ahead and create a searchable field, now when I publish it, I need to go ahead and use the index job to be run for my party table, so that it can go ahead and create the index for this particular configuration. Otherwise, what will happen that it will go ahead and it will state that, okay, this thing comes in and it will go ahead and push the 500 internal error on the top. And how we can go ahead and view that? You just press Control Shift and I. You'll see this particular part. So we will see when we'll be going ahead in E360 how these are useful. So you always go into the network. So you can see over here, if I'll go ahead and click over here, you'll see all the things which will be coming in. See, every transaction which I am doing will be showcased over here. What all actions are being taken up. Okay. Same thing if I'll go into over here. So this is what we'll be going ahead and creating. This is the first line of we can go ahead and utilize for investigating what was the issue in the UI. And we normally do not go ahead and create party IDs over here. If you want to go ahead and create party ID, that is all fine, because party ID will automatically be utilized. You can make the party ID as read only as well. Okay. Now see, right now we are seeing that, okay, two or three were coming up every single time, right? But when we go ahead and publish, see how many transaction it is going to take place. Oh, I was actually speaking on mute. I was just stating that this is what we will be showcased when we'll go ahead and we'll be completing our party with. Yeah, so this is one thing which we'll be going ahead and doing. Then second thing is business entity views. So business entity view is utilized at one more place when we want to go ahead and have a simple sort of search results which we need to go ahead and put up on the screen. So search results, if you have more than 8 attributes, okay, 8 user attributes. If you have less than that, then there is no need. If you have more than 8 attributes, so the user might ask you that, okay, what all attributes they want to see when they will go ahead and search a record on the search screen. Okay, so on that, we'll be going ahead and creating a business entry view because that is also utilized for creating search configurations. So how we go ahead and create that? For business entity view, right now you will see that for business entity we were choosing the base objects, right? For business entity views, we will use business entity, and we'll say let's say I'll just create it as search view. We use search view. Now you can see over here there is no lookup field because the only part where business entity view is utilized is to create empty labels. It does not create any attribute, it creates label for you. So if you want to have any label, we'll just say over here. You can see there is a label, depends on, and everything is over here itself, right? Even you can go ahead and create a attribute which is not there in the base object. I can go ahead and state any attribute, whatever you will say. Because at the end of the day, when I'm creating a business entity, what would I need? I need a transformation to push the value or to say what value will be shifted over there. Business entity view utilizes the entire same structure what we created for business entity, which means I have to create the address as well. The same thing is done over here, and over here there won't be any system attributes which will be created for me to go ahead and push anything. It's only those attributes which I want to showcase over here. So let's say I'm creating country, right? And I can create state as well. And I can state depends on country. So the data which will be coming up will be coming from, and I can go ahead and create this. How the data will be pushing over here? This is something which is we have to decide over either in the transformation, either direct or cleanse. These are the two types of transformation in each major type. So over here you will see transformation can be direct or cleanse. Every single place. Every single place it would be like this. Okay. And if I go ahead and publish this, you will see that there is no data which will be coming up over. There was no data, no extra attributes which was being created, right? So this is what it happens. Okay. So these are the three major sections of configuration which we need to create for creating any layout. So let's say we go ahead into hierarchies. So right now we just have business entities which are like this. And whenever we go ahead and import our hierarchies, we can create new hierarchy if our business entities are being created from entity objects. If we do not have that, then we have to create, either we can go ahead and copy from both. It is asking for the root. If you want to use the same name, just go ahead and create that. So once it will go ahead and import the entire hierarchy for you, it will also go ahead and create the business entities for us. And those business entities will be created by the same business or entity objects. Why my hierarchy was not this? environment hierarchies not getting what we need. Okay, it was having a space. That's why it was not coming up. You can see all of these three things will be coming like this. A proper or the top-down approach. And this all three will be created in business entity. All these three business entities. So if I go into business entities, you can see manager, developer, and team. All these three have came in with all the fields which are necessary. Now over here you can see that the user attributes are not created. No user attributes have been created. And in a reference entity, there is nothing. And all these are created from the same base object. So how to specify that each business entity will be having the data? So we'll go ahead, create the attribute. We'll say type. I needed to create an employee type, but that is fine. We'll say type, and we'll be having a filter over here as n as and we can have a default attribute for type as well, that any role, star means any role, the type will automatically come as so only data which is coming from team lead will be showcased over here. So that is what we use for so that is how we go ahead and do our stuff. Okay. And in provisioning tool, there is a big issue with two people logging in. If one is logging in only for read, that is fine. But if somebody is modifying the configuration, one person per ORS is allowed, because your entire configuration is stored in one single table, which is COCS config. This table holds the entire configuration of provisioning tool. That is why no two-person can work on provisioning tool together. It will mess up the configuration.